What's up, SR Student Ministry? Parents, families, guardians. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this quick video and partner with us. We want to do our absolute best to disciple your students, to come alongside you in their discipleship. And so I want to equip you guys with what we're going to be studying this upcoming Sunday night. So we are going to be talking about love. And last week, we actually talked about the idea of love and God's love for us and how we respond with love. So we talked about a little bit of this relational love. This week, we're going to talk about redefining God's love. And a piece of redefining God's love is really addressing a question I think a lot of us are struggling with. And a lot of us struggle with at numerous points in our lives. And that is, why does God allow bad things to happen to good people? Why does God allow bad things to happen in general if he loves us? And I think a prime example of this, and one of the challenges that we have to sort through, is to a certain extent not always knowing, right? We want to know the answer to every question and everything, and one of the mysteries of it is why he lets certain things happen and certain things not. I mean, Job's a great example. Here's a righteous man who lived for God, and yet he endured really painful events. Job didn't know why it was happening to him, but he still continued to be faithful to God. Now, you may look at me and be like, John, well, doesn't that seem like just a level of ignorance or blindness? And the truth is, no, it's not. It's recognition that we don't fully comprehend what God is at work and what he's doing. So the simplest version is, we don't fully understand the mysteries of what God's doing. So yeah, I can't answer. And in a loving manner, like, that doesn't change God's love. And that's what we're going to redefine. Love does not equate to good times. When we are in love, or we feel love, or we are expressing love to one another, it makes us feel good. And so it's easy for us to equate love with the idea of this feels good. And so if we're in bad and hard and challenging times, it's easy for us to say, well, then God must not truly love us, or he wouldn't let us endure through this. And actually, in some senses, God loves us so much that he does allow us to hit hardships. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but it's not. Like, God genuinely cares for us, that he understands and does not promise us an easy life, recognizes that the battles and hardships are going to be challenging. And a big reason why, and we do have to recognize this, we cannot lose sight of this, is that we chose this life when we sinned. We chose the battle and the hardships and the brokenness of this world through sin. God put us in a place where we were unaware and blind to the unknowns of sin and shame and guilt and hardship and pain. But Adam and Eve, they wanted to be God, and they wanted to understand what that was. And so what did? They ate of the tree, and they ate of the fruit, and sin entered into the world, and that opened this up to opportunities. But we recognize that the time here on earth is short. We will truly be living here on this earth for a short period of time. Even if it is, let's just say you lived to 120, that is a literally a speck in the grand schemes of eternity. And so we live out our faith, out faithfulness, and we're going to ask ourselves the challenging question this week of, like, man, this is hard for us to wrestle through, and there's probably going to be a lot of personal stuff connected to this. I know it is for me as well. And that doesn't mean we can't ask the question to God, but it is important for us to recognize God's love is not defined by how happy we are or how our life goes here on this earth. Not at all. Matter of fact, God's love is exemplified through his sacrifice on the cross and his willingness to right and pay the price that we have and the sins that we have committed. So, that being said, excited to jump in this with your students. Guys, it's a great thing for you guys to process with them. I would encourage you to take this conversation in your car, at home, wherever you're at. Partner up with your kids and say, hey, listen, we're here journeying together. So, great challenges, great things to walk through. Excited that you guys are going to be jumping in. Thank you so much. Praying for you. Have a great rest of your week.